So, hello there everyone and welcome, it is Niren here, and today it is time for yet another episode of our FIFA 19 Arsenal career mode, but modded for the 2019-2020 season. It has been an action-packed series to say the least so far. Last time, honestly, we had one of my favourite moments of any career mode series I've done on this channel against Manchester City. Again, you can check out the playlist for this series in the top right of the screen. There's been 5 episodes so far. This one is episode number 6, and the drama and action does not stop here, ladies and gentlemen. We are into an extremely busy December. It's time for the festive period, and there are games all over the gaff. You'll be seeing a quarter-final in the Carabao Cup against Man City. We obviously played in the league last episode. Then games against Burnley, Southampton, Chelsea and Wolves in the Premier League before, I believe, a final group stage match in the Europa League against Rennes. We, though, have already qualified for the last 32 in that competition. Now, going into this episode, I've changed a couple of things. First of all, the difficulty of this series. As much as we are playing really well, the AI have been a little bit too easy to play against in certain episodes recently. But regardless, I've made the sliders more difficult. The shot and pass error now for the AI is like 28. So if they're not putting together good moves on that, they're never going to. And also, we had a vote last episode about a youngster in the side by the name of William Saliba as to whether we should manually upgrade him because of how good he was in real life in comparison to his pretty lowly rating at the time on this game and on this mod. You guys overwhelmingly voted yes. I mean, it was about 95% in favor. It wasn't even close. So William Saliba has now been manually upgraded. I looked through the comments and 73/74 seemed like the most sort of realistic overall for him. So I've gone with 74. He should now be a much more usable centre-back. I just didn't think it was very fair that he was the same overall as Mavropanos, who, although is a decent young talent as well, Saliba did very well in France in the top division last year. There's a slight difference between the two. He should be a lot more usable now in Premier League games if we're not wanting to play Laurent Koscielny as much. Speaking of which, Laurent Koscielny might be wearing the captain's armband right here, but he won't be during games. He's been stripped of the captaincy after his charade on Twitter recently. Without any further ado, though, we are jumping into December and jumping into the first game of this episode, and it's against familiar opposition. Manchester City stand in our way of progression to the two-legged semi-finals. A couple of changes here with Mkhitaryan into the side, as well as Reece Nelson and Kieran Tierney. Game time at the Etihad once again. The Manchester City fans will probably still have nightmares about the last time we visited them just a couple of weeks ago in game. There is a tournament tree, the likes of Swansea, Leicester, Everton, Burnley, Millwall and Wolves still in this competition. So really ourselves and City are the only traditional top 6 sides left. Fully expecting this one to be a challenge, but we are underway. Sergio Aguero playing that one into David Silva. Silva just about skips past the first challenge. Back to De Bruyne. And City have taken the lead already after less than 2 minutes. Brilliant. I mean, as much as it's a really good finish in the end by De Bruyne, much like the goal. Did he score against us last time? Or no, it was David Silva, wasn't it? Kevin De Bruyne did have a shot in that game, much like that one. I think it was saved in the end. Burnley, though, unable to save that one. And you know what's annoying here? Rodrigo Bentancur just put a stronger challenge in. So we're behind. That's taken 2 minutes. That's good. I mean, you know what? I like this challenge. I'm not even going to say, oh, the sliders are too difficult. This is good as Bentancur lifts that over the top here for Reece Nelson. In the middle is Aubameyang. It won't get that far, though. Mkhitaryan with the long shot. Nelson is onside here towards Aubameyang, trying to nod that through towards Lacazette, but cleared away by City. All right, that's calm. We look dangerous already, guys. It's blessed. Don't worry about it. This now is Mkhitaryan. That's well done into Granit Xhaka. Space has opened up here. It's into Rodrigo Bentancur, and that is 1-1. Of all people, I thought that might go through to Alexander Lacazette, but a holding midfielder who's been scoring a lot of goals. He scored 3 last episode. 2 of them were in Sims, admittedly, but he scored again here. To be honest, since we went behind, I think we've been knocking on the door. We definitely had more chances in the game. Lacazette lets it run for some reason. I mean, if I was him in that situation as a natural goal scorer, I'm not leaving it to Rodrigo Bentancur to finish the dinner, but each to their own. The Uruguayan blasts it past Edison, and we are back on level terms. 23 minutes gone. Raheem Sterling, though, gives it away, trying to find Aguero. It's bounced back. back, and Aguero has scored. And this is the problem. Anytime we make any sort of mistake and anytime the AI strike from anywhere, really now, they're going to have a very decent chance of finding the back of the net. That was such a stupid goal to give away. I think it was Sterling's pass was intercepted. And then Socrates with a really lazy ball out. And somehow that has arrowed in. It's gone between two defenders. And just 4 minutes after we give ourselves a very decent amount of hope in this game, it's been dashed. We're back to 2-1 again. Oh, this is danger here. Bernardo Silva in a very dangerous position. Well saved by Leno, but it comes perfectly back to Bernardo Silva. And with 30 seconds and a half left to go, City now have a 2-goal lead. All we really needed to do was hold on to half-time there, but we've been split open by some really good defensive work. Kieran Tierney kind of out of position, really. Leno, it's a good save, but could he have done better maybe to parry it to somewhere else? And it's now 3-1. Now we are really in trouble, lads. The problem here we have is it's so difficult to keep City away from our goal at all, that in a position where really they're going to score the majority of shots they have, it's just going to be a massive challenge regardless. Now then, this could be trouble for City. Henrik Mkhitaryan is bursting through the middle. He doesn't have much in the way of support for the square. He goes alone, comes back to Lacazette, and that is the goal back we needed. Pick it up and take it to the centre circle, son. It's another poacher's goal from Alexander Lacazette. Similar to City's third goal in the sense it's a decent save, but he's parried it right back into the danger zone as Ederson this time. And Lacazette with the half volley past Kyle Walker makes it 3-2. We're back in the game for sure now. We've still got 40 minutes pretty much of the game left to go. Meanwhile, City again now looking for an instant response. Sterling challenged though by Bellerin. Defensively, Bellerin's probably been the best player. The whole right-hand side actually has been really good in this game. Bellerin again there with a good challenge. He gives the ball away though, but then wins it back. You'll love to see it. Right, quick passing play, and we're kind of out now into City's half. Alexander Lacazette, lovely back heel there into Reiss Nelson, just held onto the ball, sorry. A little bit too long, but the danger's still not over for City. This is Lacazette through to Aubameyang, and that is the equaliser. No, it is not. Cruelly, Aubameyang is offside. We did really, really well to rectify that move after it looked as if it had broken down. Fine margins determine big games sometimes. It's so end-to-end suddenly now. This is exactly what City don't want it to be. Why have they started playing like this? Gone to a more attacking formation now. It could be what makes this game a lot easier for us. Equally, it could be the end of us. With that as well, Bukayo Saka has now come on. He's the only real winger on the bench. The youngsters really have been causing City handfuls of problems in recent episodes. Nketiah, Nelson, and now Saka. Ball in towards Lacazette. Socrates, though, got his head on it in the end, but it is wide. Mkhitaryan swings it in again towards Lacazette. Saliba, first time, blocked and over the bar. City are officially under the cosh. This is 3 corners in a row. Xhaka swings it in. Ederson punches clear. Saliba into Mkhitaryan, and the finesse is deflected. That looked like a really good effort. Another corner. Xhaka in. Ederson claims this time. Socrates plays it into Henrik Mkhitaryan. Right, we've got 3 minutes of injury time to get amongst this, ladies and gentlemen. Saliba here into Granit Xhaka. Out wide is Reiss Nelson. Inside now for Aubameyang. Mkhitaryan. The overlapping run is Bukayo Saka, saved by Ederson. And it's off the crossbar. Saka puts it in. What a shambles of a goal. It's another youngster who has put City to the sword, potentially. This time, we're just forcing it to injury time. Bukayo Saka scores his first goal of the series. How on earth did that goal happen? The original shot, saved by Ederson. Ederson then saves again from Lacazette at a ridiculous tight angle, but only onto his own bar, and Saka unrushes in ahead of Kevin De Bruyne. Goodness gracious me. The late goals just keep coming. Bukayo Saka has realistically sent this game now to extra time. Oh, it's not even extra time. It goes straight to penalties. Are you serious? This is going to be an interesting one. Right, it's a penalty shootout, ladies and gents. De Bruyne steps up first for City. Which way will he go? He goes to the left, and Bernd Leno saves it. Unreal start to the shootout from the German. And now it's down to Alexander Lacazette. I'll take the aimer off, the arrow, to make it a bit more even. Lacazette is going to send this to the right-hand side. Ederson doesn't move, and we are at the advantage already. Ilkay Gundogan against his fellow compatriot, Bernd Leno. He's going to go to the right. Oh, it's in off the post. Leno guesses right again, but it's an unbelievable penalty. 1-1 in penalties right now. Aubameyang next up to take, and it's straight down the middle. Ederson went to the left, but he is beaten. Now David Silva is next up for City. Oh, Leno's guessed right again. It's a second save. That is huge. Henrik Mkhitaryan is next up, and this could be a humongous penalty. A decent amount of power. It's to the right-hand side, and it's into the side netting. A brilliant penalty under pressure. We've scored all three, and it's now down to Gabby Jesus to keep Manchester City in the Carabao Cup. He goes to the left, it hits the outside of the post. Leno doesn't even have to do anything. We are through to the next round, the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. Leno is the hero. 3-3 on the night, 3-1 on penalties. What a cup tie that was. And Leno, can I just say, guessed right every single time. Granit Xhaka was not even man of the match, actually. It was David Silva. But could I just say, realistically, I mean, I know we had the penalty shootout, but the man who enabled us to go on and win that cup tie, Bukayo Saka, off the bench, another Arsenal Youth Academy graduate, sinking City. Unreal. I haven't really shown it off too much during the course of this series so far, but the top scorers list is unbelievable reading if you're Alexander Lacazette. 14 games played and 13 goals scored. That's genuinely unreal, and it's not even as if he's scoring all of our goals. New boy Nicolas Pepe has also got 7 goals in 14 games. Game 2, we're back at home for this one. We're back to Premier League action as well as we face Burnley in this one. It's pretty much the stock standard strongest lineup, really. Kolasinac is back in. Ceballos and Pepe are also back. The Emirates awaits the joint leaders of the Premier League right now as we step out onto the pitch to face Burnley. Manchester United are still keeping us very honest. To be honest with you, Tottenham are as well. As you can see, here is the table. United have played a game more than us, but they are 3 points clear. So if we don't win, we are technically behind them. Granit Xhaka, who does have space, and it's deflected and has to be tipped over the bar by Nick Pope. That looked so nondescript. I mean, I think it was going wide in the first place. It's looped off a Burnley defender. Burnley is sitting back really well and just sort of crowding us out every time we go forward. Got enough bodies there so far. Maybe this is definitely a game where we don't need 2 holding midfielders, so potentially that needs changing in the second half. Taylor into Stephen Defoe, ball in towards Ashley Barnes, comes to Westwood, and that is an unreal save from Leno, one-handed to deny Burnley's first effort of the game. Xhaka trying to play it back to Aubameyang. He has done. This is a great counter so far. It's over into Aubameyang, and the first time volley on the left foot. It was a decent effort, and if that had ended up in a goal, that probably would have been our goal of the season. Lacazette, Ceballos, spread out here into Aubameyang. This could be late heartbreak here for Burnley, but Aubameyang's touch is awful. Absolutely awful running in on goal. Pope is able to claim it, and that is the end of the first half. We've got the first touch error up to quite a high amount, and that is it doing its job right there. Guendouzi. This is Aubameyang. First time! Oh my word. What an effort. With very limited backlift, that is. He's actually gone with the outside of the boot. I thought that was a little toe poke, and it is just wide. That's a great little through ball over to Hendrick. Leno is dedicated to it, and thankfully for us, he's got on it as well. Barnes, though, can't get there. Ceballos then lays it off into Granit Xhaka. Horrendous touch, though, from him. He's now out of position. This is Stephen Defoe. Ceballos gets there. Can't do the job. Stephen Defoe has made it 1-0 to Burnley. He gets there ahead of Leno and slots it in. That all came from Granit Xhaka losing the ball in a stupid position and then being out of position to deal with it. And we're 1-0 down to Burnley in the Premier League, lads. What's going on? I know somewhere Vizza is loving his life right now. Liam, I don't care about you, son. I'm out here selfishly. I need the points. There's only 15 minutes to go as well. That is quite a vital blow that Burnley have dealt us there. Burnley again coming forward. What an effort that is first time. Leno pushes it wide. I think if anything, Burnley have looked stronger since scoring the goal. Lacazette has given the ball away so many times in this second half. There's only 2 minutes to go before Burnley, of all teams, I've just remembered this as well. It's not just going to be a loss. It's potentially the end of our unbeaten record at the hands of Burnley. This is the most Burnley thing I've ever seen done as well. The invincible dream is going to be off. And it is genuine. It's Burnley. Burnley have done this to us. Leno, get up. He's pumped it long. but it's too late. The 3 minutes of additional time are over. It is our first defeat of the season at the hands of Burnley. To be fair, Burnley did really well. They defended very, very well. They were really compact all game, which is what you'd expect from them. I think we should have been more positive from the start. You know what? The horrendous thing is as well, I very, very almost simmed that game. I was going to sim this one and then play Rennes next up in the Europa League, but I was like, oh, we've already qualified for the Europa League. I'll just play this game instead. It is now time for that sim game I was talking about. We're up against Rennes in the final group stage match of the Europa League. Technically, this actually decides who wins the group, so it's not exactly a nothing game. There is quite a decent amount riding on this, though I don't think seeding actually exists on FIFA 19 career mode, so it shouldn't really determine how difficult a tie we get in the round of 32. It's currently 2-1 thanks to goals from each of our holding midfielders. Guendouzi actually gets himself a brace, and surprisingly, though Dahan gets one back for Rennes right at the end, it is a 3-2 victory. Honestly, with that starting 11, I was fully expecting to lose. And now we sim again, this time up against Southampton away from home on 15th of December. Back to the strongest starting 11, so I've got a bit more faith in this side. Southampton are down towards the bottom of the table. Bentancur scored again. That's 6 goals in 2 episodes. This guy is a sim master. You could just play him in any sim game and he's gonna score, guaranteed. Just 15 minutes to go as Tierney and Mkhitaryan come on. Will we hold on to the win? We do. I mean, I had a bit of a heart attack when I saw the goal symbol come up, but in the end, I assume it was a counter to double our lead through substitute Jean-Philippe Mateta. So here we are, the third played game of this episode. We're up against Chelsea now at the Emirates Stadium. The difficult games just keep on coming, and what better time to experiment than this? We're up to a 4-1-2-1-2 formation. I've been toying with doing this for the last 3 episodes, and finally I've grown the balls to do it from the start. Aubameyang and Lacazette lead the line with Ceballos as a number 10, Pepe and Reece Nelson chosen over Henrik Mkhitaryan. Back to the Emirates Stadium, we welcome Chelsea. Fresh off the back in terms of playing a game of losing our unbeaten record in this series, or in the league certainly in this series. We've got to bounce back. We did in the sim by beating Southampton, but in terms of played games, we've got to bounce back as well. I always knew with this slider setup, this was going to be a lot more difficult than it was before. Naturally, after changing my formation, all my players were out of position at the start of the game because that's how this game works. Meanwhile, Willian has curled one into the far corner, and after 6 minutes, we're behind again. This time it's Chelsea rather than City early on. Frank Lampard is the manager. Forget the goal, that's the coolest part. As if this mod has actually got the right managers as well. Fair play, all right. Well, Frank Lampard and his side have taken the lead. It's a really good move, to be honest with you. Kante finding Willian over on Chelsea's left-hand side. I mean, we've been behind in every single game, so at least we're keeping some consistency here, lads. Xhaka, Reece Nelson, Pepe's got some space. Pepe's got a lot of space. Pepe's dinked it past the keeper, but it's been cleared off the line. Aubameyang plays that one out wide, inside the fullback though, into Nicolas Pepe, who'll cut inside past Marcos Alonso. Nicolas Pepe hits the post. How close are we going to come? It's actually a save as well, onto the woodwork. Aubameyang has got runs all over the place, namely Reece Nelson down the left-hand side. This has got to be the equaliser, and it's wide from Reece Nelson. Oh, that's big. That's really big. Oh, I thought that was in. Reece Nelson had a huge chance to equalise. We should be leading now, let alone level. Lacazette there is crowded out. Ceballos gets there ahead of Kante, though. This now is into Alexander Lacazette. And it's wide again. Was that deflected? It was indeed, thankfully. Otherwise, that was an awful effort. We got to score soon. I'm not going to lie, lads. There's only so long we can keep Chelsea without shooting whatsoever. Still Nicolas Pepe on the ball. Plays it inside. Xhaka is brought down. Oh, come on. Something in that is a foul. For goodness sake. I give up, man. And then there's a foul for that as well. Now, through the centre is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He's not getting caught. I'm doing the tramp. I don't care. Nicolas Pepe has got us the equaliser, and I have absolutely no shame. And he's still almost missed. It went into the side netting completely unnecessarily. We probably could have scored alone there with Aubameyang. The angle was pretty decent, really. But I'm not taking any chances, especially in a game like this, and we still almost missed with Nicolas Pepe. I'll be honest, I'm not overly sure whether the 2 up top is actually working in this game. I certainly haven't noticed it be any better, and to be honest, if anything, I think we're missing the bodies in midfield. Perhaps I should have done it the other way around and played this formation against Burnley, but then played the usual formation against Chelsea. Willian looking dangerous. He's looked dangerous all game, actually, as Willian. He's turned inside. Well deflected, well blocked by Socrates in the end. We've got Chelsea penned in to their own half until we give the ball away stupidly like that with Granit Xhaka. Can't let this creep in. This is what happened at the end of the Burnley game. We were just giving the ball away in stupid positions so regularly. Shot comes in and it's just wide from Chelsea. I'm not even sure who that is. Been noticing a little bit of sloppiness up top. I know it seems a bit mental to take off the Premier League's top goal scorer when you're in need of a goal, but Alexander Lacazette in the last 10 minutes has just been giving the ball away consistently. Jean-Philippe Mateta's on to replace him. Won the ball back there with Kolasinac, who's been excellent in this game. And the ball forward here is Mateta. This has unlocked Chelsea, and Mateta, with fresh legs, cuts inside. Jean-Philippe Mateta gives us the lead with 10 minutes to go. What a finish that is from the young Frenchman. The little fake inside past David Luiz, and he's curled it into the far corner. And that change to bring Lacazette off did work out in the end. Mateta curls it in. It is 2-1, and that could be a crucial goal, not just in this game, but in this season as well. Angel Di Maria. Kolasinac has just got one more job to do. The ball goes in. It's cleared by Rob Holding. Will be cleared again. Yes, it is by Granit Xhaka. Mateta wins it in the air. How crucial has he been since coming off the bench? And that is the end of the game. How much late drama can there be in this series? Jean-Philippe Mateta this time providing it. It's all of the obscure options, isn't it? Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is awarded man of the match with a 9.1 rating, closely followed by Nicolas Pepe, but the match winner, Jean-Philippe Mateta, well up there as well. And now, time for the final game of this episode. Up against Wolves, we're back at the Emirates again. This time, we're facing the other career mode team I did this year in Wolves. Now, I do apologise in advance if there's a couple of, screen freezes in this game. Unfortunately, my room just naturally gets warm as I record and my PC overheats, so nevertheless, the two sides are out onto the pitch and we are ready to get things underway. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's an interesting one actually, because apparently he's on somewhat of a goal drought right now. I didn't realise that, but thinking back, I know he scored against West Ham in episode 3, but that was a long time ago games-wise. He's probably scored in Sims since then, but I don't really remember him scoring many times in played games in recent times, honestly. Kieran Tierney's off on his travels. Been good in this episode, actually. This, though, is Lacazette. Great ball through, saved by Rui Patricio. Lacazette here. This is great work from himself and Mkhitaryan. It's now over into Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He opens his body up. Great save. Lacazette flicks it over himself, but straight into the grateful hands of Rui Patricio. It was always a great goalkeeper for us in the Wolves series on FIFA 19, and he's proving to be so again. This, though, is Granit Xhaka from distance. What a strike from him. Finally, we've got that long-range goal with Granit Xhaka. The man with the captain's armband is the one to finally put the ball past Rui Patricio. He's been pulling out some great saves, but you can't give Granit Xhaka that much space on the edge of the area. It's a Xhaka boom from Granit, and that gives us the lead in the first half an hour of the game. 1-0 then. This has been a little bit less of a troublesome game than we've had in all the others so far. We've not actually been behind before leading the game. Unbelievable scenes. Aubameyang's given that away stupidly. Great block, but it's come back to Jota. What am I trying there with Aubameyang? Why did I not just calm it down? We've just scored a goal literally 2 minutes ago, and I'm trying some eye-of-the-needle ball that was never even going to work anyway into Bentancur. Good block from Saliba, but Socrates doesn't help him out with the second shot. We literally took the lead a second ago. They were coming forward again now with Nicolas Pepe, who was just trying to run through Wolves on his own there. Lacazette into Nicolas Pepe first time. Saved at the near post by Patricio. Lacazette back through to Mkhitaryan again. He cuts back past Bennett. That is a penalty. To be honest, it looked like he got a piece of the ball, but it was more because Mkhitaryan fell into him from the first part of the challenge. It's just clumsy, but we move. Anyway, it's down now to Alexander Lacazette. Try and put this one into the back of the net. And it's saved by Rui Patricio. How many saves is this man gonna make? That's the end of the first half, an extremely frustrating one as far as I'm concerned, because we should definitely be winning this game. Again, like the Chelsea game, really, at the break. Diogo Jota, great ball inside the fullback to Johnny Otto, ball in. Thankfully dealt with really nicely by William Saliba there. Great challenge from Tierney, but it's broken to Diogo Jota. Saved by Bern Leno in and amongst all the screen freezes there. Can my PC actually just start working normally again? Oh, the corner's come in. It's unchallenged. Leno with a save again. Mkhitaryan here into Mateta. Oh, Mkhitaryan, why are you running past the ball? He's at least won it back. then plays it through here into Mateta again. Jean-Philippe Mateta has done it again. He won us the game against Chelsea, and he's finessed one into the far corner once more. In fairness to Henrik Mkhitaryan, I've been ribbing him all second half, but he's done really well there to win the ball back and then play it through first time into Mateta, who cuts inside once more and finesses it into that far corner. It's 2-1 again, and it's the youngster that we brought in from Mainz who has created that scoreline once more. To be fair, he's made a really good impact. Like, for sure, Mateta's introduction has changed everything. Link-up play-wise, just an injection of pace. Obviously, scoring the goal, that's the obvious thing. Granit Xhaka now into Joe Willock. To be fair, after getting his first game in the Premier League, in real life, Joe Willock might be a shout for someone to upgrade in this series. We've upgraded William Saliba. Should Joe Willock get an upgrade as well? Just to put it into perspective, if it would be an upgrade, he'd probably be going up to about 70 overall. Nothing too major. Just 1 minute to go in this game. Ainsley Maitland-Niles has won the ball back excellently there as well. Still on the ball. Mateta's through the centre. This is still Mateta. Can play it back into Ainsley Maitland-Niles, but it's straight at Rui Patricio. Swung towards the back stick for Socrates. Mateta gets there. Back to Socrates again. He drags it wide. It'll be a goal kick. I think, lads, we've ridden it out, the danger. And there we go. That is full time. Yet again, we come back from what looked like it could have been a pretty shocking situation to grab all 3 points. And yet again, it is Jean-Philippe Mateta, who had an instant impact in the Europa League in his early Arsenal career. Struggled maybe to set a light to the Premier League, but now, in the month of December, where there's a lack of warmth outside, he is certainly providing the fire inside the stadium. Granit Xhaka is man of the match again. I think he was man of the match in the last game. Can't quite remember, but a 9.3 for him. That, though, is going to wrap up today's episode of the FIFA 19 Arsenal career mode here. And what an episode it has been. A difficult one where we lost our unbeaten record in the league, but still one with some positive results through to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup, and also very dramatic wins against Wolves and against Chelsea in the league. If you enjoyed this episode, though, slap a like on it and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It's the big red button under the video and it massively helps me out. You can also follow me on social media. It's at the official FNG on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.